Hey, salut tout le monde, c'est Damoclès, j'espère que vous allez bien. On se retrouve aujourd'hui pour ce nouvel épisode de Genshin Impact. On se retrouve du coup à l'auberge au chou après avoir essayé de trouver les souvenirs de la grand-mère dans la quête du coup de Xianyun, enfin de Shanyun. Et on doit maintenant se rendre au quartier Hung pour du coup trouver le prochain indice, mais c'est marrant que ce soit pas indiqué d'ailleurs. Ah voilà, c'est là. Ok. Par contre, je vais essayer un truc. Complètement con. Voilà. D'accord, tu peux vraiment invoquer ça partout. Ça me fume. C'est vraiment... bref. Bon, allez. Enfin, bon. De toute façon. En tout cas, évidemment, on enregistre l'épisode sur Twitch. Donc, n'hésitez pas à nous rejoindre YouTube, évidemment, grâce au lien en description des vidéos. Ainsi que sur le serveur, la croisée des mondes, évidemment. Il est en 1000 litres. Ouais, mais pas totalement en 1000 litres, a priori. Parce que le truc 1000 litres, on m'a dit... le set de 1000 litres, c'est ici, non? C'est que des trucs ici, 1000 litres, je crois, hein. 7 de 1000 litres, c'est ça, hein. C'était du 1000 litres, c'est ça. Les PV sont augmentés de 20%. Lorsque le compétence élémentaire touche un ennemi, attaque de tous les personnages, équipe augmente de 20%. La force de la bouclier augmente de 30%. Bah oui, c'est pété, bah oui. Vu que c'est un shielder en plus, mon zongli. Donc en vrai, bon, on saura quel truc faire au moins. Ça va être chaud de trouver ce qu'on veut par contre, hein. Ça, on va encore galérer, hein. De toute façon, pour l'instant, il n'y a que Raiden qu'on a commencé. Raiden, on n'a pas encore tout ce qu'il faut. Yelan et Naïda, on a fait ça vite zef. De toute façon, Yelan, elle va dégager, ce sera Furina. Mais ouais, les artefacts, ça va vraiment être le plus long, hein. À la limite, les aptitudes et tout, ça peut aller, mais les artefacts, on n'est pas sorti d'auberge. Ça va prendre des semaines et des semaines et des semaines. Quand tu vois que Zeno, il avait mis 3 mois à mettre son zongli au niveau qu'il voulait, enfin, pas son zongli, mais son neuvillette, tu te dis putain. Ok, il y a des ennemis. Bonjour. En plus, on est invincible comme ça, c'est ça qui est incroyable. Hop. On les a éliminés, quoi. C'est rapide.
Let me think. I feel like I've been here before. But I don't think I stayed here too long. I might have just rested here briefly before continuing on my way.
Got it. That's okay. There are still plenty of other places we can check.
Wait
Il
a
te reste
second.
20 Mavuka et
If
Furina,
I
c'est ça.
remember
Et
correctly,
actuellement, je suis à...
I
On va
believe
recompter, mais vu que t'en parles, en évitant de pull par accident, évidemment. 47 vœux, et actuellement, donc 47, donc je suis à 57... 57, 58, 59, 60. Je suis à pile poil 60 de pity du coup. Pile poil 60 de pity pour ma Wicca du coup.
Go on, take some.
Mais si j'ai assez, je vais essayer d'avoir Monsieur Neuvillette évidemment. On verra. En vrai, ce serait quand même pété que je réussisse à avoir Zongli et Neuvillette quoi. Ce sera vrai là. Ça se trouve là Neuvillette, je poule une fois et là je poule et je l'ai, hein. Peut-être, hein. Je rappelle que j'avais quand même une Early, j'avais quand même eu Yelan à 3 de pity, hein. Mais je veux pas prendre le risque. Ça se trouve vraiment c'est un vœu, ça me suffit, hein. Zombie, je l'ai eu à 62 pity, ouais, environ. Je l'ai eu à 60 et des bananes. Donc ouais, c'est mon troisième yearly avec Furina. Avec Yelan et Utao. Attends, on va compter combien je l'ai eu. On va compter. Hop. Je l'ai eu à combien? On va compter combien j'ai eu, hein. On va voir. On va compter combien j'ai eu. Du coup, je l'ai eu à 11, 21, 31, 41, 51, 61, 61, 65, 60, 61, 66, 67 de pity. 67, c'est encore du Ali, ça? Oui, la soft pity, c'est à 75, hein, je crois, la soft. La soft, c'est 75 et la hard, c'est 80, il me semble. Donc j'ai eu à... Ouais, je pensais que j'avais eu à 60, mais j'ai eu à 60... Oui, 67. Hein. Mais celle que j'ai eu, je crois que Utao, je l'avais eu encore plus tôt, Utao. Mais le truc, c'est que j'ai fait 2 multis par accident, en fait. Il y a 2 multis que j'ai vraiment pas fait par accident, que j'ai vraiment fait par accident, quoi. Et là, d'ailleurs, une multi, je pourrais en avoir une, mais ils ont voulu que je pull sur Neuvillette, que je n'ai pas eu, évidemment. J'ai eu une vieille épée de merde. Donc, bon. Après, si je fais avoir Neuvillette, ce serait cool, mais je pense pas qu'il sera très utile dans ma team, quoi. Il sera dans ma box, quoi. C'est... À part s'il est vraiment utile par rapport à Yelan. Cet endroit vous rappelle-t-il quelque chose?
I don't remember this place at all. I don't think I've ever been here before. Still, I was thinking. This place feels perfect for a game of hide and seek.
Huh? Why a game of hide and seek?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's because I used to play that game a lot with Shuyu when she was younger.
I don't remember playing it that much. Are you sure about that, Granny? We only played a few times, and we stopped once we realized I was no good at the whole seeking part.
Ah, is that so? Then I must be mistaken.
Perso, je vais invoquer une Neuvillette quand j'aurai assez de primo. Je suis en 50-50, je n'ai même pas envie de la reperdre. Donc tu attendras son prochain run, non? Ah non, tu veux dire attendre d'être sûr d'avoir ce qu'il faut pour compléter ta 50-50 et avoir la garantie, quoi. Bah en vrai, c'est sage de faire ça, Masashi, parce que il suffit que par exemple là, tu poules Neuvillette, imagine tu l'as en 2 multi. Bah t'as ce qu'il faut en Wicca. Moi c'est pareil, là je suis à 47 de pity. Enfin à 61 de pity. Enfin 60. Je vais pas prendre le risque de pull Neuvillette alors qu'il y a ma Wicca derrière, tu vois. Donc ça dépendra si j'ai. Mais franchement, entre les events qu'il va y avoir, les events qu'il y a, le fait que ma Wicca va sûrement rester 40 jours, euh, plus ce Sumeru qu'on va attaquer sûrement demain ou vendredi, on a le temps. On a largement le temps. Sachant que je serai en vacances au 24 décembre, donc il y aura le temps. Enfin, en vacances
Not
officieuses,
tripping.
mais
Let's
en
try
gros, on a arrêté
somewhere
ma période
else.
d'essai. Mais je retrouve un travail, du coup. Je vais essayer de repostuler en janvier, du coup, pour avoir un nouveau taf. Soit à Metz, soit à Caen pour attendre. Non, je suis free to play, je suis en galère avec les primos. Ouais, moi, on va dire, je suis semi free to play, on va dire. J'ai la faveur de l'astre lunaire et le battle pass. Par contre, j'avais pas mettre 200 euros à Noël pour Genshin. Théoriquement, en fait, je peux oui et non parce que du coup, bah, j'ai plus de travail, donc vaut mieux que j'économise. Statistiquement, tu vois, je veux dire, je suis plus large, tu vois, même si je mettais 200 euros. Pourquoi je vais mettre 200 euros? Juste parce que j'ai gagné tous mes 50-50. Sur les 7 50-50 que j'ai fait, j'ai gagné les 7. J'ai pas envie de dire, vas-y, je gagne mon 8ème et mon 9ème 50-50, mais t'as mis 200 balles dans le jeu. Tu vois ce que je veux dire? Je veux quand même être un minimum legit. Déjà que là, tu comptes par jour. Attends, c'est pas dur. Une période lunaire, ça dure 28 jours, ça te fait 90 fois 28, ça me fait déjà 2520 primo. Plus les 680, ça me fait 3200 primo. 3500. 3500, ça fait beaucoup de jeux, ça, 3500. Enfin, 3200 parce que le reste, je le garde pour les skins. Ça fait quand même 20... En fait, ça me fait que 2 multis gratuites, mais 2 multis, c'est quand même ça, tu vois. 2 multis plus 2 multis, bah, ça fait pas la diff. Hein. Donc, j'ai pas envie d'abuser plus que ça. Surtout que c'est exorbitant, hein, c'est...
Paimon sees an abandoned house. Why don't we take a break over there?
This place. It's
Son ancienne maison. Local avec son mari.
Did you remember something, Granny?
I remember. Shuyu. This is where your father was born. It was a moonless night. I had been injured, So your grandpa was supporting me. We fled together with some being in the fog behind us in
Oula.
hot pursuit. I had exhausted my strength when the labor pains came on, so we took refuge in this house.
Non, Natlan, non, non, je fais dans l'ordre. Non, Natlan, je n'ai pas fait. Hein. Je fais dans l'ordre. Je fais d'abord Mondstadt, ensuite Liwei, ensuite Inazuma. Je vais faire Sumeru, Fontaine et après Natlan. Non, franchement, pour 500 primogèmes, je voulais pas juste gâcher le fil rouge de l'histoire juste pour 500 primogèmes. Alors d'accord, ça m'en aurait fait 1500, mais 1500, ça me fait même pas une multi. Une multi près, je suis pas à ça près, je veux dire, j'ai la moitié du jeu explore encore. Ah, elle est trop belle par contre quand elle était jeune. Non, clairement, le let's play passe avant tout. Hein. Le fait qu'on suive l'histoire passe avant tout autre chose. Hein.
Punish me as you wish for forsaking my oath, but spare my innocent child.
Sin? Oath? Did you do something wrong?
I don't know. I don't remember. I only remember praying in the darkness with all my strength until the sun finally rose again and the fog cleared out. Eventually, the house was filled with the sound of my baby's first cries. That baby.
Au moins, Snezdaya, on sera sûr qu'on sera bien par contre, Masashi. Snezdaya, ça arrive dans quoi? Dans 7 mois, 6 mois, enfin 7 mois, peut-être 8 mois. Il y a largement le temps. Hein. Ça fait 4 mois que j'ai commencé le jeu. Hein.
My dad?
He was my pride and joy. And so are you, Shuyu. You're so much.
Elle a dit quoi? Les premiers cris en VS sont faits en temps. Sur mon bout de l'effort, lorsque je restais accouché alors nous sommes refugiés dans cette maison, ton grand-père barricadait l'entrée. Je suis la seule source de PCG, puis ici, comme vous me semble, m'épargnez mon enfant. Toutes les forces dans la vieille obscurité, ce que cela c'est l'enfant.
But you're always going to be different from me. Why? Just what did I do?
I don't care what you might have done, Granny. You'll always be the person I love more than anything.
You're too sweet, Shuyu. I'm lucky to have you with me. If not for you, I would not have had the courage to come here, to try to remember what I had forgotten. All right. Let's not stand around any longer. There's one place left, yes? Let's go take a look.
Ouais, le pic machin là.
If one recalls correctly, the next place should be Chinyu Peak. You and I.
J'adore faire sortir Sadiq en pierre lui.
I may be a bit slow, but I'll do my best to keep up. I'm sorry to keep everyone waiting.
Tout ça me fume si tu mets 2 voyageurs, que tu fais invoquer le truc du voyageur géo là. Bon voilà, j'ai pas besoin de faire un dessin.
All those who grow old grow frail in the end, do they not? First, you lose your memory, then your health. Eventually, you end up losing everything. My only wish is to depart this world with a lucid mind.
Je vais vraiment 50-50 sur les villages, c'est ça le jeu. Ah la vache, à ce moment-là. Moi, ça arrivera un jour. Hein. Moi, si j'avais pas Furina, je vais vraiment faire tout pour l'avoir parce que je serais deg. Il me manque Furina et j'ai ma team complète. Hein. J'ai Zhongli, Naida, Raiden, il me manque que Fufu, putain. Pour ça, j'ai tout faire pour être sûr de l'avoir, quoi. Quitte à économiser. Hein. Et du coup, le dernier endroit, c'est ici. Tout bientôt, j'aurai les ailes de Shogun Raiden. Par contre, Furina, du coup, ça se trouve, j'aurai Furina qu'on sera encore à... Si elle arrive dans 100 jours, est-ce que je serai encore à... Non, je pense que je serai arrivé à Fontaine quand j'aurai Furina. On verra.
we're finally here. Does this place feel familiar to you, Granny One Day?
Let me see. How strange. Have I lived here before?
Prenez votre temps.
When we were at Wangshu Inn and the abandoned house earlier, though I couldn't remember everything, I still felt a sense of familiarity. I could easily picture myself in those places.
Donc elle reviendra avant 20. Ouais, ça va être chaud.
But here, I don't have that feeling. Perhaps I did come here in the past, but it just didn't leave a strong impression on me.
Ah non, je suis con, on est 5.2, 5.3. Mavrika live 5.3. Deuxième moitié, je sais pas si ce sera un rerun avec Arlecchino. Et 5.4, ouais, largement le temps, en vrai, ça dépend. Hein. Si je pull sur Mavrika et Arlecchino, si je veux Neuvillette, Mavrika, Arlecchino, ça va être chaud.
Did the stories get it wrong then?
De toute façon, je joue à la sécurité. Hein. Tout ce qui n'est pas dans les livres n'est pas nécessairement exact.
Yeah, that's true. But they're also the only thing we have to go off of. Paimon was hoping this place would jog Granny Uendai's memory just like the others.
I'm sorry to disappoint you too.
It's alright. We're not going to give up yet. We'll figure something else out. Just you wait.
Thank you. If only I could remember. Huh? That way. What's that mountain?
Ça c'est un est incroyable a priori, elle augmente de 200%, de 200 ses dégâts je crois.
Oh, let Paimon look! Huh? Isn't that Mount Outsong? Looks like we've come full circle.
Mount Outsong. Mount Outsong.
Granny, are you okay?
Je suis sûr que c'est une adepte elle.
Don't push yourself, Granny. It's okay if you can't remember. You shouldn't
Parler
do
d'une grue
something
blanche
that makes you sad.
immaculée, si c'est pas elle, moi je serais en Angleterre.
Mount Outsong, What am I really?
Mount Outsong holds some familiarity to you?
Ça demeure des adeptes. Hein.
It does, but I can't go back.
Are you feeling unwell?
C'est une adepte qui a été bannie à tous les coups.
My head, it feels all heavy and dizzy. What is wrong with me?
Cloud, Miss Xianyun, is there anything you can do?
Let us go to Mount Outsong.
But
Fret not, all will be well. You and I, you have already given more than enough to the pursuit of this endeavor. You may leave the rest to me. I've prepared something that can aid you in suppressing the fear in your heart and restoring your lost memories. It currently resides at Mount Outsong.
wait, really? When did you do that?
Oh, pendant que tu faisais des épisodes. Pendant que j'étais en train de faire la coupure entre les deux épisodes, sûrement.
I never leave anything to chance. All will reveal itself when we arrive.
On va découvrir qu'elle a tué un adepte. Attends. Attention, qu'est-ce qui s'est passé ici? Du coup, c'est la dernière quête, j'imagine. Ouais. On a des trucs pour Zhongli en plus, je crois. Ouais, on a des trucs pour Zhongli en plus. Des livres de Zhongli.
Come on, just tell Paimon already. What's this thing you've prepared?
Here, this is it.
Ah.
Huh? But isn't this the mechanism that you were tinkering with when we first got here? Oh, is it another invention of yours?
Precisely. A recent one at that. I am most pleased with the result. I call it the Suspensus Somnium mechanism. It periodically releases a soft breeze, which when paired with a gentle adeptal tune, can help the listener subconsciously relax and even enter a semi-hypnotic state. Soothing agitation and anxiety.
J'ai bonne continuation pour la quête. Merci, Masashi. Après, je vais faire les quêtes annexes et comme ça, demain, normalement, on reprend le principal au gouffre. Avant de faire la quête de Beizu et de et de Yelan, puis ensuite Gosmeru.
Whoa, what a cool gadget!
Tu vois, la quête de Beizu, sympa, mais
Why did you keep it to
j'ai pas
yourself
envie d'attendre
until
plus
just
longtemps avant de
now?
continuer.
We could have come to Mount Outsong right off the bat and saved time on a lot of floating.
How preposterous. Had Yuendai not recalled much of her past through her own efforts, the device would have nothing to draw upon. We Adepti can only help those who first resolve to help themselves. Had she lacked such determination and strength of character, one would have little to offer in way of assistance.
Paimon thinks she gets it now. Hey, what's that other thing?
As previously mentioned, a gentle adeptal tune is required to take full advantage of the mechanism. One secured such a tune from Streetward Rambler. Only with her melodies can the mechanism reach its peak power.
Ah, c'est pour ça que j'étais allé voir Madame Ping.
Whoa, Paimon can feel what you mean. Paimon's body feels light as a feather. It's as if she's lying down on a warm patch of grass after a super satisfying meal.
And you, Yuendai, is the mechanism helping you to relax? It appears she has already succumbed to the depths of reverie. Come, join one on this side. We shall give her some time to herself.
The drought is over. But why do you look like you want to cry?
The potion. It's nearly run its course.
I've never regretted meeting you. Not even for a second.
Ah, c'est le mec du port de Liyue, non?
Please. Please.
Non, c'est pas possible, il est mort, son mari. Mais puis c'est une 7 étoiles, c'est pas
Have you
la...
forgotten? This is the world you left behind. One of gentle breeze and morning dew, perfectly straddled betwixt the realms of heaven and earth. This is your home. This is where you belong. You should have never left. The you of the past, the me from not that long ago. We should have never.
Donc c'était bien une adepte.
So that is the truth. No wonder this place is
C'était
so
sûr que c'était une
familiar.
adepte.
Granny! Granny, are you okay?
Cloud Retainer.
Your memories have returned?
Ah, là, volontairement dit.
Wait, did you just call her by her full name? Does that mean you already knew each other?
Yes, I now remember everything.
Granny, please don't cry. I'm here.
Oh, don't worry, my dear child. Granny is fine. I'm so sorry, everyone. You've gone to so much trouble on my behalf. It's all come back to me now. The most important thing that I had forgotten was the truth of what I once was.
One can sense the guilt that now plagues your conscience. Reclaiming a truth long buried is sure to come with a myriad of complex emotions.
Perhaps no, it's
Yeah.
okay. Now that I've remembered, I must face my memories head on. Shuyu, everyone, I cannot thank you enough for all your help. I'm ready to tell you my story, if you're willing to listen.
Please, Granny, don't force yourself. What happened in the past doesn't matter. I love you more than anything. Nothing you say can change that.
I know, dear child. My feelings for you are exactly the same. It is for this reason that you deserve to know the truth. Some time ago, I made a terrible mistake. One for which I could never atone.
Cinématique.
Is this the sin that you mentioned
d'accord.
in Dwayne Karst? What happened?
I am, in truth, not a human being. My real form, one that I held for centuries, was that of a wild crane.
Donc c'était pas une adepte.
I spent many, many years living on Mount Outsong, bathing in the soft breeze and drinking the sweet dew of the mountains. At some point, I somehow gained wisdom and sentience. The Lord of the Mountain, Cloud Retainer, became aware of my existence and began to share many stories with me. She even passed on the secret of cultivation to me. Though she never took me on as a formal disciple, I always saw her as my master. Whenever she took out her tools to work on mechanisms or new inventions, I would also stand next to her and watch. I even contemplated completing my training and becoming an adeptus in my own right. I followed her teachings, and time gradually passed us by.
Donc elle aurait pu devenir une adepte.
Until that fateful day 50 years ago.
Donc on n'est pas adepte en eau de vie en fait.
50 years ago?
Pendant la sécheresse qui a frappé Liyue.
That's right. Master regaled me with many stories of her past deeds. From them, I learned how she had saved people from a similar crisis in the past. She was the one I looked up to the most. More than anything, I dreamt of becoming an adeptus like her. I wanted to travel the land like she had, relieving suffering wherever I went. But I was still far from being a real adeptus. I possessed no ability to take on human form and fit in with the crowd. Once she learned of my desires, Master prepared a special dose of human mimicry potion for me.
Donc c'est ça qui lui a donné sa maladie.
She warned me that the potion's effects would only last 10 years, and if I were to fail to return to my original form at the end of that time, I would forever forget my past as a crane and become something neither human, beast, nor adeptus.
Oh no. So that was the source of your dementia all along.
Vous n'avez pas repris votre apparence initiale.
Was it because of Grandpa?
Indeed, I fell in love. Though he was human, he had spent his entire life training on Mount Tianheng. When we met, it was not only my first foray into the world below, but his as well.
C'est pour ça qu'elle était triste quand la sécheresse est terminée en fait.
Although clumsy and impulsive as he was, you'd think he was the real strange bird among the two of us. But still, just like me, he cared deeply about the world and wanted, more than anything, to cleanse it of all pain and suffering. I could not help but fall for him. But my time continued to tick away. Those 10 years passed by in a flash. Yet I did not want to leave his side, so I...
Oh no. What happened next?
I committed an offense. I wanted to stay with him, even if it meant living a life full of pain and suffering, even if it meant that I would eventually turn into a monstrosity.
Oh, c'est triste et c'est mignon à la fois en fait.
I knew I had betrayed Master's hopes, but I was too ashamed to face her. So I wrote her a long letter instead and asked someone to leave it outside her abode. I was convinced that she would not support my decision, and I lacked the courage to speak to her face to face. In my shame, I fled and tried to hide from the world, such that no one would be able to find me again.
C'est pour ça que l'héroïne s'annonce cachée de la vue de tous.
But that was only the beginning of my troubles. I began to suffer from a strange illness. My memories became hazy and confused, and I could no longer keep myself awake. I understood that my pain was caused by my refusal to return to the life I was fated to lead. Along with my memories as a crane, I soon forgot the true cause of my suffering as well. I knew only that I had committed a sin. All I could do was pray for forgiveness, even if I had long forgotten what needed to be forgiven. Looking back, I was beyond lucky to have come across that traveling merchant at Wangshu Inn. It was such a fortunate coincidence that we were
C'était elle
there
à
at
tous les
the
coups.
same time. If it weren't for those soul
C'était elle qui
revitalizing
s'était déguisée en
tea pills,
marchand.
I probably would have...
Granny, what's wrong?
Coincidence? Why did I
No,
ever
c'était
think
elle.
it was a coincidence? Tea pills concocted using the blood of an adeptus? No, it couldn't be. Master, don't tell me. Back then, that merchant was actually...
Human custom would dictate the conferral of gifts to be in order when one's progeny is wedded, would it not? Consider the pills a symbol of one's best wishes.
So when I tried to conceal my name and mistakes from the world and hide myself away in perpetuity, the only person I managed to deceive was myself.
One still remembers when you were but a fledgling. You possessed a certain fondness for a particular game. You would hide yourself among a group of wild cranes and ask one to pick you out from among the flock. One found you with such ease every time. 'Tis a truth most evident. One always recognizes one's own, no matter what form they may take.
Wait! Paimon's confused! So, Cloud Retainer, you found Yuendai again? But how? When? And what happened after that?
Bah, c'est simple à comprendre pourtant.
Perhaps it is now time for one to recount the rest of the tale.
Ah, cinématique. Oh, mieux que ça, on revit les souvenirs. Et du coup, bah oui, c'est vrai qu'on l'a toujours pas joué. D'accord, elle se transforme en...
One was furious upon receiving your letter. Seized with anger, one set out to bring you to your senses.
Elle est pas mal, hein. Catalyst. Elle est super classe par contre. Hein. Et on est... C'est le Liway du passé, non? Ouais, j'ai l'impression que c'est ça. Hein. On est où exactement? C'est le Valenchegno, non? J'espère où on est exactement. Attendez. Ah ouais, regardez. L'auberge au chou, elle n'existe pas encore. Enfin, si elle existe, mais on la voit au loin en fait. On peut se barrer, j'imagine. Non. Ouais, c'est le Liway du passé en fait. Ouais, c'est ça. Donc on la joue dans le passé, c'est incroyable.
In truth, one had more than a few misgivings about your chosen partner. As an exorcist, his talent was lacking. One could hardly say his skill with sigils was any better.
Ah, c'était un adulte aussi.
But soon, one came to appreciate the devotion he bestowed upon you during your illness. He never uttered a complaint and rarely left your side. Unwilling to begrudge someone of such character, one decided to overlook his aforementioned deficiencies, glaring though they may have been. Wishing to grant you a life without regrets, one gathered many divine ingredients and used one's own blood to create a form of medicine. Though imperfect, it managed to suppress the more dire effects of your illness. As for how to deliver the medicine, after much contemplation, one eventually decided to perform the deed oneself. One took great care to alter one's features and select the appropriate attire. Only after meticulous scrutiny did one finally set out for Wangshu Inn. As one expected, you were most ignorant of one's true identity. You showed not even the slightest inkling of recognition. One was quite torn. Should one have celebrated the success of one's disguise, or mourn the loss of your acquaintance?
Si les souvenirs pour découvrir la vérité. Donc ça compte comme un donjon en fait. Ah, ça compte carrément comme un donjon en fait. Ah là c'est une ancienne demeure d'adepte, d'accord. Super.
Nevertheless, one would speak to you about another matter, if you are amenable, even considering your loss of memory. One was simply flabbergasted that you could so easily forget the consequences of consuming medicine infused with adeptal blood. Its proclivity to attract monsters is hardly that complicated of a concept to remember. To think that you tried to travel while weak from sickness and heavy with child. Had one not intervened to clear the fog, all of you would have been lost during the night.
Celle qui a placé la barrière.
Skyward, scatter! Skyward, scatter! Seize the sky!
Ah, stylé.
Skyward!
C'est stylé son attaque plongée, c'est à moitié comme si elle est puissante hein.
Those monsters would hardly have pursued you with such ferocity without sufficient incentive. They were likely incited by the presence of godly remains. Said godly remains, in turn, were likely drawn to the trace of one scent on your body. One was, after all, an active participant in the Archon War. Some of the gods were likely shattered by contraptions of one's very making.
Ouais, donc elle a la puissance de détruire les archons quand même.
In the end, one was relieved to see you endure through the night. At the break of dawn, one heard an infant's cry pierce through the air, and one saw you carefully cradle the child to your chest. Although to see you happy, that was more than enough.
Les archons vraiment ils se sont tous étripés entre eux en fait. Hein. Visiblement Venti et Morax et Barbatos c'était les plus puissants d'entre eux.
Now you should have a complete understanding of the events.
Wait, but if that's true, then the crane who took care of me when I was sick must also be...
One had almost neglected to recount the absurdities of that tale.
Ça, on n'aura pas pu se retransformer en grue normalement. Et du coup là on a une partie de Liwei. Ouais, c'est à moitié un monde des rêves en fait, c'est une Liwei mais modifiée quoi.
Just as you and I troubled one with her antics, so did you give one many a headache. Upon finding you burning with fever, one made plans to bring you back to one's abode for treatment. However, upon seeing one's form, you began to cry, refusing to get on one's back. When one asked you why, apparently you believed that one could not possibly be a true adeptus because all illuminated cranes are white from tip to toe. One had no choice but to apply powder to one's body
Ah, d'accord.
to conceal the variegated nature of one's appearance. You became more than amenable enough when one stood before you devoid of any other coloring. It bears mentioning, however, that as a crane, Yuendai was nearly entirely pure white in color. Though you had never encountered her in that form, you still recognized the essence of her being. Perhaps fate brought you two together in more ways than one. Now all has been revealed. One owes you an apology, you and I. One recognized you upon your very entrance into Wanmin restaurant. One has always viewed you as a disciple of equal standing with Ganyu and Shenhe. Indeed, one wished to bring your story to a satisfactory end with this visit to Liyue Harbor.
Donc c'était pour elle qu'elle était venue.
Still, one could not reveal your identity right away. Had one simply informed you of all you had lost, all those cherished memories would merely have become the fictionalized account of another. Memories are most meaningful when recalled by those who lived through them. Would you not agree? Even if the process was painful and arduous to experience.
Je peux devenir immortel.
Have you any further inquiries?
Master, I must ask. If you found me all those years ago, why did you leave me be, even though you knew about my mistake? Why did you not bring me back to Mount Outsong by force?
One has never regarded your action as a mistake. It was a simple choice, nothing more. When it is time for one's progeny to leave the nest, it is the responsibility of an elder to let them fly free. Yet, when your wings grow weary and the night grows dark, just know that you always have a place to which to return. 'Tis a refuge referred to by many a name in mortal writing. Home, nest, haven. Whatever its denomination may be, its essence remains quite unchanged. One speaks, of course, of a place not unlike one's own abode. One's disciples are free to come and go as they wish, yet the door remains forever open to those who wish to return. What?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You and I. One expects you too have sensed the rapid deterioration of your condition as of late, have you not? 40 years ago, you chose a path without a future. Though one used one's own blood to provide you with a few decades of extra time, it merely delayed the inevitable. One may have extended the path, yet one was unable to alter its final destination. Even the power of an adeptus has its limits. Had your condition continued to deteriorate, you would have forgotten your life as a human entirely. In the end, you would have turned into a creature lacking in the ability to even comprehend its own monstrousness. Fortunately, you were able to avoid that scenario by reclaiming your memories. Though one sped the process along by providing some guidance, the result is entirely a reflection of your own effort.
Qu'est-ce que je dois faire pour éviter ça?
So, what's gonna happen to Granny?
One will help her reclaim her original form as a wild crane. If it be fated, she may recover her sentience one day.
She's gotta go back to being a regular crane, huh?
Y a-t-il pas d'autre moyen?
Master, you've already done more than enough for me. I don't know how I could possibly repay your kindness. This is a better result than I could have ever hoped for. How much time do I have left?
Ah,
Not long. The transformation is imminent.
Granny? Please don't leave, okay? You're all I have left. Please.
Don't be sad, dear child. Granny has led a wonderful life. My only regret is having to leave you behind. Don't forget to eat well, okay? A growing young lady like yourself needs lots of good food to grow big and strong. Promise Granny you'll take good care of yourself when I'm gone.
I promise, Granny. I'll do whatever you say.
Good girl, good girl. Don't worry. It's not goodbye forever. Granny's gonna become the most formidable crane in all of Mount Outsung. Granny will train day and night. I won't stop until I can turn into a human without having to rely on anything but my own power. When that day comes, we'll be able to live together again. You and I. How's...
Good.
That's a good girl. Even though we won't see each other for a little while, as long as we both work hard, we're sure to meet again someday.
I'll eat well, Granny. I promise. And I'll wait for you, no matter how long it takes. I'll wait for you to come back.
That's a good girl. Then Granny really has no more regrets. I'm so sorry, Master. Thank you for everything.
je donnerai mon avis sur la quête après.
Shiryu.
Let her be. At her age, crying is a natural, if not fitting, response to such an event. Tears are a necessary part of maturation. Sometimes there is scarcely a better vehicle to wash away the toll of stress and misery. Now that the issue has been resolved, you should also take a moment to relax. Give yourself some time to rest. Take a nap if you must. One will wake you in due time.
Là, c'était rapide, la vache. Ah ah.
I always believed we would see each other again. that our days of separation would finally end, and all my troubles would be behind me. If only things could stay this way forever.
A nightmare? Curious. If you're relaxed, shouldn't your dreams be pleasant?
It was a good dream. It's just...
You weren't ready to wake up. Eloquent as one may be, words of comfort are not one's strong suit. You are doing all you can. One can see your strength of will, your fearlessness in the face of danger. And so, whatever your dream may be, one believes that you shall achieve it. Of course, whenever the perils you face overwhelm you, or you become weary, one is always here for you. After all, as an elder, it is only right to look out for the young ones.
Grilled chicken drumsticks. Huh? Was Paimon sleeping just now? Oh. Paimon was
Allez,
attacking
code.
you. Paimon had a dream about eating grilled chicken drumsticks, that's all. Madam Adeptus? Oh, Shuyu, you're awake. How do you feel? I feel a little better. Thanks. I know I'll see Granny again someday, so I don't feel so sad anymore. Madam Adeptus? Can I ask you something? Would you
Ce sera
take me in
incroyable.
as a disciple?
Oh, and have you reasons for this sudden interest?
I know Granny thought what she did back then was wrong. She felt really bad about it. But without that mistake, I would have never been born. Even though Granny lost her memories, she never forgot to show me how much she loved me. So, I thought maybe one day I could become a cool adeptus like you and help a whole bunch of people, just like Granny wanted to do.
Immortel par la même occasion, ce qui lui permettra de la revoir à terme.
Upon some reflection, one supposes you are no mere mortal. The
Elle a
fact
10
that
ans
you
d'adepte,
undyes
bah oui.
blood flows through your veins is proof enough of that. If this is what you desire, one shall make it so.
Thank you so much, Madam Adeptus. No, I mean, Master. Chuyu, are you sure about this? Paimon's gonna let you in on a little secret. We've seen Cloud Retainer's 2 other disciples, and they pretty much eat nothing but bitter herbs like chin-chin and violet grass. If you join them, you'll never enjoy One-Min Restaurant's delicious cooking ever again.
How utterly preposterous. One has never enforced such a rule. Every individual must find their own path to enlightenment. So long as one retains a pureness of spirit, one's dietary proclivities are quite irrelevant.
Bah oui, mais le Burger King, voyons.
Well, you say that, but Paimon's not seeing any tasty treats up here now, is she?
Although Mount Outsong is rich in natural beauty, its location does preclude access to certain finer mortal comforts. That is precisely why one plans to relocate to Liyue Harbor. Shu Yu shall have the
Elle avait
honor of
tout
becoming
prévu.
one's first disciple in the human world.
Whoa, you're leaving Mount outside?
C'est pour ça que vous avez pris cette apparence humaine.
One has never concerned oneself with the location of one's residence. From the very beginning, one has sought only solace and peace. Yet in the end, all of one's disciples ended up in Liyue Harbor. Ganyu, Shenhe, Yuandai. They all chose a life among the mortal world. One has reflected on this fact for many years now. One can only assume that it is due to some failing on one's part as an elder or master. A failing, perhaps, of recognizing what it was they truly wanted. One is most curious as to what aspect of Liyue Harbor could have enticed them to remain there. One could hardly offer an opinion on the matter, but perhaps some time in the harbor will prove instructive. Why are you all so silent?
Paimon is, just a bit shocked, that's all. So, does this mean we can grab a meal together in Liyue Harbor sometime?
One has precious little time to squander. However, if one finds oneself otherwise unoccupied, one would not be opposed to the idea. One will be assuming the identity of a human while residing in Liyue Harbor. You should take care to avoid disclosing one's true identity.
Don't worry, we'll help you keep it a secret. So, when can we expect to start seeing you in the city?
Attends, elle a pas encore déménagé.
Perhaps in 2 days' time. One has
C'est
some
moi en
matters
fait
to
qui viens
see
de...
to before
Moi aussi
one's
j'ai déménagé.
departure. Preparation is the key to success, after all. One plans to put up various items from one's collection
Voilà.
for sale.
Elle a tout à fait raison.
The earnings should provide for a comfortable living in Liyue Harbor. One has already picked out a handsome property near Chuhu Rock. 'Tis no small purchase, but what is mortal life if not one expense after another?
Seems like you've really thought of everything. Then how about we meet up in Liyue Harbor in 2 days?
A sensible plan. See you then. Oh, also, why don't you take this suspense somnia mechanism as a souvenir? Anytime you should feel ill at ease in the future, you may try quieting your mind and sitting in meditation as you listen to its melodies. It might help you find a new perspective.
Awesome! Thanks, Cloud Retainer! Hey, didn't we promise Shincho that we'd tell him what we found out?
Patientez pendant 2 jours.
Should we make a trip to the Feiyun Commerce Guild?
Ah, pour le coup, ça va être une très longue quête, les gens. Très long épisode, mais déjà, on va la finir parce que clairement, quand il y a la grand-mère qui a dit adieu à la gamine, qu'on la vu redevenir une grue et que surtout il y a Aether qui a retrouvé Lumine, franchement, c'est la première quête qui m'a ému. Hein. J'ai pas pleuré, mais j'ai quand même eu les larmes un peu. Hein. Franchement, la quête, elle était incroyable. Celle de Xiao, elle était plutôt cool, mais celle-là, elle lui met une vitesse, mais phénoménale. Clairement. Alors, je sais pas qu'est-ce qu'on aura à la quête d'Inazuma. La quête de Venti était cool. La quête de Liyue était cool. La quête d'Inazuma d'Archon, c'était celle que j'ai préférée parce qu'elle était belle et tout. Mais celle-là, clairement, c'est... Ouais, j'ose le dire, c'est la meilleure quête du jeu que j'ai fait jusqu'à présent. Vraiment, la quête est incroyable. Au début, c'était une petite... Enfin, limite, on fera d'autres quêtes avant d'aller à Sumeru, mais franchement, finir par cette quête d'histoire-là avant de reprendre l'histoire principale, c'est... Enfin, vraiment, l'histoire est masterclass. Hein. Je sais pas s'il est sorti il y a longtemps, Xianyun, mais la quête, j'étais pas emballé, mais putain, mais qu'est-ce que j'ai bien fait de la garder en dernière. Elle est... masterclass. J'ai rien d'autre à dire, elle est masterclass. Franchement, la quête est magnifique. Et c'est ça que j'aime dans ce jeu, c'est qu'ils savent faire des trucs qui sont vraiment masterclass. Vraiment, quand ils le veulent, ils savent faire des trucs incroyables, quoi. Là, le seul regret, c'est que du coup, on l'a fait report de Liyue, mais du coup, les personnages, on les voit pas IRL, en fait. C'est ça le problème. On les voit pas se promener, enchaîner. C'est dommage. C'est dommage. Mais franchement, la quête, là... J'ai rien à dire, elle était incroyable. Putain, et si vraiment... Et encore, c'est une quête secondaire. Donc une quête d'Archon, je vous dis pas. Si on m'a dit que la quête d'Archon de Naïda était bien, mais qu'elle était triste, et que Sylvena était bien, qu'elle était triste, mais qu'elle éclate celle-là, attendez-vous à me voir pleurer. Clairement, attendez-vous à me voir pleurer. Hein. C'est clairement possible. Hein. C'est clairement possible. Seule fois que j'ai pleuré dans un let's play, c'était à la fin de Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Enigmed. C'était l'émotion de finir la saga et tout. Mais de toute façon, vous me ferez pleurer dans certains jeux. Hein. C'est sûr que vous me ferez pleurer dans certains let's play. Ça, c'est sûr.
Your concerns are excessive and unfounded. This is but a simple collection of ordinary valuables. Such intense scrutiny is hardly necessary.
To be quite honest, your insistence on that fact is my
Je sais même pas
primary
quelle
cause
miniature
for
je vais prendre
concern.
tellement il y avait de trucs dans cette quête. Je sais même pas comment j'appelais l'épisode.
In what way are any of these ordinary? Every single item here could be worth more than everything I own combined. I simply can't risk shelling out that kind of mora without proper scrutiny. If I'm wrong, I would never be able to earn it back, not even if I worked every single day for the rest of my life. I have to be careful. Yes, you can never be too careful.
We're here, Clow. Miss Shenyan, what are you guys arguing about?
Ah, perfect timing. This ignoramus is questioning the authenticity of my wares. I'll have you know, these items have remained untouched in my personal collection for
s'est
several
cramée toute seule,
hundred
là.
years. To question their legitimacy is pure folly.
Several 200 years?
Indeed. They're family heirlooms, you see, passed down over many generations, as families are wont to do.
Yep, they've definitely been around a while. We can vouch for her on that one.
Hear that? Had I not found myself in need of Mora, I would scarcely have had the heart to part with them. Indeed, you should consider it an honor to even have the opportunity to behold them with your own eyes. Doubt their authenticity any further, and I may just decide to take them to another buyer.
Pire, farme des fleurs énergétiques, hein, ça ira ensuite.
Whoa, please don't go! I apologize for any insult, miss. You see, I know full well that I lack the knowledge to judge the true worth of these items.
Et là, imagine l'expert,
If you
c'est...
could wait but a moment,
L'expert...
hire an expert to appraise them for me.
Je
Should be
rigole.
here shortly.
Je ris si ses ongles.
An expert, you say? Very well. I will wait for a little while longer then. Traveler, Paimon, this is my new residence. If you have cause to seek my company in the future, this is where you can find me.
Master! Oh, it's you two again. Hello. Shiryu! You got a new outfit! It looks great on you. Mm-hmm. Master made it for me.
Ah, elle est trop belle. Tenue d'adepte.
Huh? You know how to make clothes?
Do I know how to make clothes? With the support of the proper mechanism, sewing is hardly a challenge.
Master, I brought in most of my stuff. There's a few boxes left, but they're kind of heavy, so I just left them outside.
Fret not, I shall help you move them into your room.
Actually, I should probably sort through my stuff a bit first. Everything's kind of messy right now, so maybe you could not look yet, Master? Yeah, that'd be great.
It appears my young apprentice has her own fair share of secrets. No matter. Do what you must, child. Now, this expert you mentioned. When can we expect their arrival?
Soon. Ah, there he is. Here, allow me to make some
C'était sûr.
This is Mr. Zhongli, a
C'était
well-respected consultant
sûr.
at Wangshang Funeral Parlor and an
C'était
expert in all
sûr.
manner of
On a
valuables and
revu
antiques.
tout le roster de Liyue. C'est incroyable.
Mr. Zhongli, this is Miss Shenyun. She's the one who's looking to sell the collection of valuables I mentioned earlier.
Huh.
If it isn't Miss Shenyun. It has been quite some time since our last meeting. What a serendipitous reunion.
Indeed, most serendipitous. Have you been faring well as of late, Mr. Zhongli?
Quite well, thank you. I was fortunate enough over the past few days to enjoy both a stroll in the mountains and a fresh brew of tea from the most recent harvest. The experiences left me with such insight and peace.
Non mais c'est une blague. Ces derniers jours, non seulement d'une balade en montagne, et bizarrement on a fait quoi pendant 2 jours? On l'a farmé dans une montagne, putain.
Huh. So you two are already acquainted?
Tout s'aligne parfaitement, c'est incroyable, ce let's play est incroyable.
Indeed.
J'adore quand ça se passe comme
How
ça dans les let's play.
fortunate we are that fate has brought us together again. If you are otherwise unaware, allow me to inform
Vous allez
you
avoir
that
un
Miss
épisode aussi long que celui
Shenyon
de
is a
200 ans, ça me
well-regarded
fume de rire.
collector and appraiser. She is well versed in all fields and oft celebrated for her impeccable taste. You stand to gain much from this opportunity.
You are too kind.
En termes de
Mr.
dialogue, c'est un
Changli.
prélude de Sumeru, ça, les
True
gens.
collectors pride themselves on their wealth of knowledge and eye for detail. I can say without a doubt that you are foremost.
Par contre, je vous préviens, là on fait un épisode long parce que c'est la fin de la quête et tout. Il est possible que pendant Sumeru, on coupe les épisodes pendant les dialogues. Parce qu'évidemment, si on a un dialogue d'1 heure, voilà,
Why, you
comprenez.
flatter me, Miss Shenyon. It would seem that you are as self-effacing as ever.
Là, j'aurais limite pu couper en 2. Hein.
Not at all, Mr. Changli. Not at all.
While I am loath to butt into this conversation, I must ask, you two already knew each other, and you seem to have quite a cordial relationship. Can I be certain that you're not working together to swindle me? I mean, you never know.
A preposterous accusation. The heavens themselves would collapse before we would conspire to do such a thing.
Miss Shenyon speaks the truth. Contracts are built on honesty and trust. If that proves to be beyond your
Je vais
capabilities
juste
in
voir un
this
truc au niveau du
instance,
dialogue.
this
Trésor dans l'estimation, le trésor de grande renommée, excellent dans le...
Say no more. Let us depart.
Toujours aussi fidèle à ses principes, hein. C'est peut-être plus l'archon Jérôme, mais il reste fidèle à ses contrats.
I jest. What fool would still harbor doubts after Mr. Zhongli himself has vouched for the goods? Miss Shenyon, wait! I deeply apologize for doubting you. So, Mr. Zhongli, could you please give me a final verdict on the value of these items?
There is no cause for concern. They are indeed rare and precious valuables. Take this mechanism, for instance. Though one may not immediately perceive its purpose, its structure and appearance are exquisite enough to merit it a place in any fine home. The same can be said for this one here. Few could hope to possess an item that so perfectly blends mechanical wonder with geometric
Qu'elle a
grace.
fabriqué elle-même, non.
I am sure you have heard from your travels that the study of mechanisms is among the most wondrous arts in this world. With that in mind, I earnestly recommend procuring every last item in this collection.
All right. Since I hired you as my consultant, Mr. Zhongli, I shall, of course, trust your good opinion. Then, in that case, Miss Shenyon, I'll take the lot. However, since the final sum is quite large, how about we start with an initial deposit through the Northland Bank?
The Northland Bank? Huh. Oh, you refer to the fiduciary house. Oh, very well.
I fear people only use the term bank nowadays. In that case, I'll be off for now. I'll return to collect the goods once you've received the funds.
Zhongli!
My friends, have you been doing well?
Oh, c'est pas comme si on se prenait avec toi depuis tout à l'heure.
We've been great. How about you? Paimon didn't know you were such a busy consultant.
My days have been quite pleasant as well. I had been quietly enjoying a cup of tea when Mr. Xiaozu requested my services. As for you, Miss Shenyon,
I must say, the name Shenyon sounds exceedingly strange coming from you. Perhaps you could dispense of that particular epithet in further conversation.
Whatever for? Am I not addressing you as a friend should?
Well, that is true, but... Alas, refer to me however you will. After all, a name exists such that others may address you with it. One is hardly ignorant of that fact.
It would seem that you have gained many valuable insights over the years, Cloud Retainer.
One has indeed. One's previous days were all brief. Now that one has made up one's mind to move and settle, one has gained a much better appreciation of the hubbub and commotion of the city, as well as the people's hard work and ardor. This city
Ça
is
fait
much
vraiment,
changed from how it
ça
was
fait
more than
vraiment
1,000
penser au
years
jour où je vais
ago.
déménager moi aussi, putain.
Not unlike the ocean tides, so too shall the movement of people ebb and flow. From turmoil to peace, enlightenment to aspiration. Human society possesses limitless potential. In another 1,000 years, the scene we witness here may change in ways that are impossible for either of us to imagine.
Alright, that's enough
Tout en
reflection for
ruine.
one day. No need to get all sentimental on us.
You make a valid point, Paimon. Now that the sale has concluded, what say one plays the host as we try some specialty dishes together? One must profess great interest in trying bamboo shoot soup.
Perhaps you have forgotten, Cloud Retainer, but I once tried my hand at that dish. You were at the table on that occasion, so logic dictates that you should have already tried it.
Oh? What occasion was this?
It was a reunion between friends several centuries ago. Alas, you must have been too preoccupied to secure yourself a portion. Or perhaps our other companions simply availed themselves of faster reflexes on that occasion.
Ils disent quoi? Vous semblez avoir oublié. Ouais, parce que j'ai reçu un message de Nomi, c'est pour ça que je regardais. Non. On a été conclu. Nan.
Hardly. 'Twas most certainly out of consideration for the others in attendance. In but a moment, one will show you what it means to have a true deftness of hand.
Ils vont se faire un Food Wars Xianyun les onglis.
It is settled then. Bamboo shoot soup, mora meat, crab roe tofu, triple layered consommé. We shall enjoy the lot. One has already passed word to Shenhe and Ganyu to make a reservation. It is prime time for them to meet one's newest disciple. Is that agreeable to everyone?
It should be a most splendid occasion.
Merci beaucoup, souffle nuage.
Shu Yu, come now, it is time to dine. Ah, this gentleman over here is Mr. Zhang Li. He is,
Un archon.
A humble employee of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Nice to meet you too, Mr. Zhengli. That should be everyone, right? Let's go! Sounds good. Actually, Master, have you ever tried Adeptus' temptation? I heard it's impossible to stop eating after even just one bite. You know, 'cause it's super tempting and stuff.
That sounds rather implausible. Although with the right preparation, certain dishes can be too delicious to resist.
Huh? Why are you all walking so
Je peux pas vous garantir que l'épisode fera 1h13. Hein. J'aurais peut-être coupé en deux, je verrai.
Hey, wait up!
Là, c'est la fin de la quête, je pense. Voilà. Elle était incroyable. Non, je la laisserai en entier. Putain, par contre, ouais, c'est peut-être la quête la plus longue qu'on ait faite. Eh ben, écoutez, les amis, on va s'arrêter là pour cet épisode. En tout cas, j'espère que ça vous aura plu. Si c'est le cas, n'hésitez pas à liker, partager, à commenter, à vous abonner, à activer la cloche, évidemment. N'hésitez pas à nous rejoindre sur Twitch, évidemment, pour vivre toutes ces quêtes-là. Ces quêtes-là en direct. Et surtout, je me dis, genre là, il y a Neuvillette qu'on veut, mais au-delà du fait de le vouloir, je ne connais pas du tout Neuvillette. Je sais pas du tout comment il est comme personnage. Felina, pareil, je la veux, mais je le connais pas du tout. Naïda, je la connais pas du tout. Vraiment, tous les persos qu'on a de l'autre côté du gouffre, j'ignore totalement comment ils sont. Et putain, qu'est-ce que j'ai hâte de les découvrir. C'est pour ça, les amis, demain on se retrouvera pour du coup un épisode pour finir les quêtes secondaires qui ne prendra sûrement pas tout l'épisode, je pense. Ensuite, on ira au gouffre. Faire toutes les quêtes du gouffre. Du coup, fin du chapitre 2, intermède. On reviendra à Liyue pour faire la quête de Yelan, de Beizu, et ensuite Gosumeru, voir ce que l'histoire nous réserve. En tout cas, je vous retiens pas plus longtemps. Je vous remercie d'avoir regardé. J'espère que le vidéo vous aura plu. Et on se retrouve dès demain pour la suite de cette longue, très longue, mais très belle aventure de Genshin Impact. Je vous remercie d'avoir regardé. Je vous dis à tout le monde. C'était Damoclès et salut, salut.